Good afternoon, all. I'll lower that now. Hello, how is everyone? I thought I'd go live before I head out. I'm going to do some deliveries, just a few, and then come home and work on my business. And then I got other stuff. I'm going to go out tonight. I should, when something like that happens, if I want to share it with my followers, I should wait a little bit before I go live, because I watched that video from yesterday. It wasn't horrible, but I missed a lot of points, and a part of the video, it cut in the middle. Like, I remember it stopped, but I was really multitasking, and I was a little out of control, and I was taken back. I'm going to share what happened with the story again, calmly, more together. And good morning, good afternoon. Good afternoon. My goal is to be in my car by 12. I'm cutting it close. I did a lot of work online. How are you, Don? Hey, Bobby T. Hello. Hey. Hey, Ann. Hey. I just want to say, I missed, and I also missed telling my audience what Grubhub said to me more. And I was driving, so I thought before I drive away, when I accepted that order yesterday, I was on a live, and I was heading toward the restaurant. And when I walked in, when I pulled up, yes, I was there in front of the restaurant for at least 4 minutes, but it doesn't change the fact that I was early for the pickup and early to the drop-off. When I walked into the restaurant, I really thought the man, he was coming from the back of the kitchen. It's a small place. It's like, it really is just a small place. It has like 6 tables, like it's more like I told you, you order and you pick up. When the man was coming from the back, and he was furious already, he was angry. He was like, is everything all right? Is everything okay? And at first, I really didn't think he was speaking to me. I thought maybe he was in a half conversation, and I put my bag, I had my bag, on a little flappy thing like a bar. You know, the bars when they flip open the bar for the staff come in and out of the bar. It's that kind of counter. And I was like, hi. You know, first I said good afternoon, and then he said that to me. And I was like, hi, because now I thought he was speaking with someone else. I said, I'm here for Grubhub. And he was like, yeah, I know. How was the conversation? You're talking a long time. Food's sitting here ready. It's ready. The food's ready. Oh, yeah, yeah. And he was the guy was all jacked up. And I was just like, okay. I was like, thank you. And I didn't really give much of a reaction, because he took me by surprise, and the guy was jacked up. I mean, he was doing circles behind the counter, like he wanted to get me really angry, like he wanted to. I took it as, now I'm rethinking what went down. I was like, you know, he was really close, and he was really angry with his hands just on the other side of the counter. The man was very angry. So I said, okay, thank you. And I put the food in the bag, and I was like, have a good afternoon. Or, you know what? I either said goodbye or good afternoon. I said something like that. And he was like, yeah, yeah. And when I walked away, when I turned around to walk out of the restaurant, which is, again, the length of my car from the counter, from the front of the car to the back of the car to the door, I wasn't out. I was like halfway there. And he was like, I got the video. And I was like, whoa. I mean, this guy was pissed. Okay, well, you can understand how I was. Now I get outside, I open, because I'm right in front of the restaurant. Like here's the restaurant, here's my car. The sidewalk was only in between us. So I opened up my passenger door, I put the bag in the car, and while I walked around my car to get into my car, I was like, what just happened here? That was bizarre. Now, I delivered it, and I told you I had a problem finding the lady. Lady was fine. I was fine. I was on the phone with Grubhub for at least 10 minutes because we were trying to find the woman. I told you what happened with that. So I pulled away from the house and I went down the block into the shade. I said, ma'am, please hold on. I need help. And I said, I would like to speak with a manager or a supervisor. I want to report a restaurant. And she was like, oh, can you hold on? So then she came back on and she goes, I'm going to transfer you. You know, after like 3 or 4 minutes, when you're sitting waiting 3, 4, 5 minutes, a lot of time goes by really fast, you know? You're sitting there waiting patiently, and I wanted to keep my cool. And I said, okay, thank you. And then another 2 minutes, a manager or a supervisor got on the phone and said, I understand that you want to tell me something about the delivery, something like that, he said. And I said, thank you for your time. I want you to know, this is very important to tell you guys. I want you to know, I wanted to speak to a manager. Thank you for your time. I really do appreciate it. I want to tell you what happened. And he said, okay. And he listened. Now, this is a man in charge. And he did. He shut up. He let me finish telling the story. It took maybe a minute and a half to tell the whole story because it was so fast. And who knows if the restaurant person called during that time. I mean, I didn't get the manager or supervisor on the phone for at least 25 minutes because we couldn't find the lady. Maybe that restaurant had already called Grubhub. So I'm rethinking in my head how he went, okay, tell me what happened. And he listened to me. And then I told him, I said, I'm letting you know, when I pulled up, I was on a phone call. Yes, I pulled up right in front of the restaurant. That's very important to tell you guys because I don't want you or him thinking that I was hiding anything. I was on a live stream. So I called it a phone call. And I even say in my video, I have a few minutes. I had more than a few minutes. You know what I mean? That's why I said, I have a few minutes, and I was still early. And I told Grubhub, I said, I just want you to know, I did pull up. I was talking on the phone. I did pull up right in front of the door. I was, I wasn't supposed to pick it up until 1:11. I was in the store at 1:06. Because now I'm looking at the clock when I got into the car. I'm like, I'm way early. What is the problem here? While I was driving it to the drop-off. I want you to know I don't appreciate the way he treated me, the way he spoke to me. It was inappropriate. It was unnecessary. The words I used, uncalled for, overkill. And I don't like the way he was telling me he's going to tell Grubhub like he was threatening me, sir. He was going, I got the video. And this man listened to me on the other end. And then I thought, like I was thinking about it last night while I was watching PTD vlog. That's when I was thinking about it. I was like, I got to rethink about what happened yesterday. And I just, I wanted to, who knows if this man called, because when the Grubhub manager or supervisor patiently let me tell my story for a minute and a half. He apologized for the way the man treated me. He was like, I'm really sorry that he felt that you were treated that way. Restaurant people should not treat our drivers that way. Maybe that guy called, because you have to understand, in that 30 minutes from me picking up the food and finally getting a manager supervisor on the phone that said, tell me what happened. I'm thinking about it now. Did he call? Did he call? And if he called in the state that he was in, I mean, this guy, he did a circle. He grabbed the food. He put it down. His arms were up. I mean, this guy was obviously very agitated. But to me, he was hyped up on something. He was really excitable. So I have to give Grubhub kudos, because that manager, when I said, thank you for your time, I really do want to report a restaurant, I had this happen to me, and he was like, okay, tell me what happened. I'm thinking maybe the guy calls. Maybe he already called, because they don't just pick up the phone and go, we're going to listen to a driver before we do any research. They know exactly when I pulled up. I have the phone in my hand. They know exactly when I walked into the restaurant. They know exactly when I walked out of the restaurant. As long as that phone is in your hands, these companies know your exact whereabouts. Think about that. So there's nothing to hide or lie about. But I should have waited to say that story. But the whole point of the story is, if someone goes out of their way to be that way with you, I mean, it was really he took something so minor and turned it in, he blew it up. If somebody doesn't treat you right, you have every right to report a restaurant and have them on file. And then the Grubhub manager or / supervisor said, let me put this on your file. We won't give you this restaurant anymore. I was like, maybe this guy called, and they're probably looking at my statistics saying this is not a problem driver. We've never had anybody complain about her. She does a lot of deliveries. I have a very high rating. Of course they took me seriously. So I just wanted to share that. I didn't ask you to figure it out, Mom. I said, just send me a message. Got it? You see, got to read. I wrote her 2 sentences. She's sending me something. Should have told him to click. Now, I don't think fast on my feet, but I was also taken back by it, Bobby T, because he was excitable, and this was a big guy. And I'm telling you, he was like, I was like, I'm thinking back, did he want to grab me? I just couldn't believe, the more I thought about it, how wrong he was. I thought maybe I made a mistake. No, I didn't. I have gotten attitude from restaurants for arriving early. We never win. Oh, and the funny, on May 25th, on Memorial Day weekend, that was the last time I picked up at that place. And I say in the video, I watched it. It was like a 10-minute video. I didn't say the name of the restaurant, but it was the restaurant I'm speaking about. I say I waited 20 minutes, that it wasn't worth working around here because the traffic was so heavy. I live near the nautical mile where boats are on water and restaurants. I mean, I was lucky I did a few deliveries that day. And I remember that weekend specifically. That's why it was so easy to backtrack. I said, did I use the name of the restaurant? I wish I did. But I do say I had to wait 20 minutes for their food. I couldn't get mad, but he got so angry at me. And I remember that because that's the weekend that my friend told me that she went Pentecostal and I had to end my friendship with her. It's easy to remember things when... It's easy to remember when you tell the truth, Unbelievable. So I have to give Grubhub kudos because I think there was a big, by the time the woman listened to me and then she got back on the phone and said, okay, she obviously spoke with someone and she was like, I'm going to get a supervisor on the phone. And then I had to wait a few more minutes and this man was like, okay, tell me what happened. Kudos to Grubhub. They didn't just pick up the phone and start listening to me. They researched first. They probably checked my whereabouts like Uber does. When you can't, a couple of times I couldn't find the location, the drop off. And they could tell when you're circling around 5 times, they go, give up. You can't find the place. It's happened to me with Uber Eats twice. And I was like, they put you on hold and they see what kind of activity you did. They seeing, she can't find the house. She can't find the house. She keeps trying. She did the same thing 4 times. The woman can't find the location. It does happen. You're not always in the wrong. Sometimes it's a made up address. Somebody could have pressed the wrong, put in the wrong address number. Anything can happen. Anything can happen. So thank you for listening, guys. This is a really good example to let the drivers know that, yeah, I know it's all about making the buck and these companies want to see how far they can go, but I have to give kudos to a company that went out of their way to listen to me and made sure that I understand that they're not going to expect me to go to this restaurant anymore and they're going to put it on my file. So maybe the guy calls, and between both of us, it's a good thing because I don't want to deliver for this company. I don't know if he's the owner Or is he just a partner? Maybe he's just a worker. I have no idea. But the few times I've picked up there at night, I've always had to wait. So that's it. I haven't been there since May 25th. I could live without getting any orders to that place. So that's that, guys. I did watch PTD vlog last night. And the topic, very interesting, was about DoorDash. That customers can go back later on and take away tips that were already guaranteed, that the driver accepted the deal, said, yes, I'll take this delivery, I'll pick it up and deliver it to you, and customers can go back and take away money from the drivers. That's ridiculous. I was like, what? I was doing laundry and I was like screaming at the TV. I was like, wow, are you serious? Customers can take money away after they say, you know, you accept an order. If you're a driver, you understand, guys. And it'll say, oh, there's a $3 tip or a $5 tip included. You see it. I haven't done DoorDash in a long time, but the driver is making the decision right there. I will accept this job. And yes, thank you. And then customers can take tips away? Like, what is that? I can't believe that. I'm going to drive and get gas, and then I'm going to shut you off, guys. I could talk a few more minutes. I didn't want to drive and tell you this story again because I didn't want to miss anything. And Grubhub deserves kudos. This man got on the phone. He was like, tell me what happens. So I think that man called Grubhub, and he was furious. So thanks for listening. Driving. I'm going to pull up in the shade so I can read that. There goes this man. I've been watching this man. This man lives in my building. All right there, buddy. Yeah. Something happened to him. I don't know his name, but I know he lives in my building. And he's been, for the past 2 months, walking with a walker. And he has the tennis balls at the end. And he makes that noise because I live right here. My windows are right here. And I watch him. He goes to CVS in the Tiamo store right there for exercise. And it was to a point where he could barely stand. And look at him now, confidently on the sidewalk, outside with a cane instead of that big walker pushing it like crazy. He's getting better and better and better. He's using the fence. He's making himself better. Every day he gets a little bag of something. And we're very blessed that we have a Tiamo that has a lot of stuff. It's a small convenience store. But then we also have a CVS right on the corner. And they have a lot of stuff. Now you could get paper goods to coffee and tea, you know, eggs, bread, the basics. He just keeps getting better and better, the man. You can do that with Uber Eats also, but we don't know about it. They have an hour to change the tip. I didn't know that. Oh, thanks for telling me. I wasn't aware of that at all. At all. Hold on a second. Yeah? All right.
Did you have a problem with the alarm system here? In the car?
I don't think so. Why?
Because Gabby said that was like 2 nights that your car, the alarm was going off like back to back. She just told me to bring it to your attention so that way you can see if there's something wrong with the alarm or something.
Okay.
Because she looked out to make sure there was nothing, you know, going on, like nobody messing around with the car, but she said there was nobody around. She said it was just going off like twice.
You know, I just shut it off. I barely use it anyway. Thank you for telling me.
Yeah, she just told me to let you know. Just, you know.
Thank you.
All right?
Yeah.
As soon as I hear back from, I guess that last paperwork.
Thank you.
All right?
Sounds good.
Have a good one.
I'll see ya. Bye. Uber doesn't guarantee a tip like DoorDash, but if customers can take back the tips, you know, what's the point of giving a tip? You know what I mean? It's crazy. I guess my car is getting really old. I don't need to turn on an alarm. I could just lock it. I think I should just lock it from now on. Maybe I'll leave the lights on or something. You know, Somebody else told me something was up with that. I just won't go beep beep. I'll just go beep. I'll just lock it. People have been in my car before, and I live in that kind of area. Every now and then, things like that happen. That can happen anywhere. Can't get overly concerned. That's the one perk of having an old car. I just don't give a shit. But I'm happy you told me, because I just won't turn on the alarm at night. I don't care. The reason why they know is because there's cameras all around here. You might get away with it for the moment, but you come on this property now, there's a camera everywhere. They know your whereabouts at every moment. They come and get you. That's a good thing. They'll come and get you. They've done that. Hello, Caramel. What's going on? I guess if they have a bad service, they can take it away. The issue is that DoorDash shows us the payout with the tip included. Got it. Well, that's not fair. I mean, if you have a bad experience, I feel that, you know, that's really hard. See, I don't have a problem with Uber Eats, because it's like a restaurant. You give good service, they tip you. 80% of the time I get tips. I've said it in many of my videos over and over and over again. I do pretty good with Uber Eats. In my market, it works for me. It might not work this great in other markets, but Uber Eats does work good for me. It does. I want to get gas first before I turn it on. I'm not even concerned. So yesterday, that happening to me, I ended up staying home the rest of the day, and I got a lot done. You know, and I worked online. I banged out. I added 10 pages to my website, which is great. I'm happy you told me that. Somebody else told me that about my alarm. Car's getting old. Go beep, 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 making noise. So that's that, guys. I'm going to watch videos today. I see Pete uploaded a video already, but I'll watch it while I'm doing some deliveries. And just don't allow people... I mean, I've had restaurants give me attitudes, but not to that extreme. And that's a really great way of putting that. It was overkill. It was to an extreme. He chose to try to install fear in me. You tried to install fear in me even years ago, bosses. I always did less. That's the way I am. I just feel, but I also always saw myself earning my own income on top of working a job. I don't know if they knew that, but maybe if they think back and said, wow, that worked backwards. I've had a few, I haven't had many bosses in my life, but people like you when you're working on your tippy toes and you're fearful, and it's just a shitty way to go through life. And I chose not to go through it like that anymore. That's the one perk of working for yourself like this. I'm really grateful Grubhub listened to me. And it's not an issue that I don't deliver for them anymore. And when I did deliver for them May 25th, it was for an Uber order. It wasn't for Grubhub. So, just don't let people treat you like shit or try to install fear. I mean, there was no reason for that. He really was in the wrong, and he was way overboard with his actions and his body language and his anger and his tone of his voice. And you're right, he could have pressed the button. You were so right. I didn't even think of that. Order ready. I never received that notification. I was staring right at the computer, the phone. Okay, guys. I ordered Uber Eats, and that's how I know that we have to change it. You have $2 per mile, the magic number. Magic number. Hello, Caramel. How you doing? It's beautiful, guys. There's a chill in the air. Trees are moving. There's a little breeze. It's so beautiful. It really is beautiful. I love this kind of weather. I'm going to open up the windows in a few and enjoy the beauty. Okay. Thank you for joining in. Thank you for listening to me. And I'll see you guys around. I don't know. Why would you think? I see we have a little community of drivers that I know I have a bunch of viewers, but I don't know. We can assume, but you know, maybe. I don't know. Okay, guys. See ya, Caramel. Guys, I'm going to go watch a little Pay to Drive, a little BZ, see what's going on out there while I'm out and about making a few bucks. And I won't be turning on my old alarm anymore when I get home. I'll see you guys. You have a good one. Thank you very much. Ooh. This is a tight corner. I'll see you soon. Have a good one. I hope you all make a lot of money. He takes $6 Chipotle orders for 2 miles. Oh, well, I'm going to go listen to him. I hope he uploaded a video today. I like him. He's very funny. I like the way he goes, I'm checking in. He has a good opening, just like Teen LMDU. He has a good opening. How's everything? Everything going great? Everything going spiffy? Everything going well? Very funny. Okay, guys, I got to shut up. I'll see you guys later. Have a good one. Bye, guys.